Hello guys and welcome to this video. This is an update video to my Bartop Arcade. If you've not seen my original video of me building this, go and watch that first. I'm going to link it in the top right hand corner of the screen. It shows you how I built this from a flat pack. So essentially this all came in a flat pack, all the different bits. I assembled it, I added the artwork, added the marquee, added the monitor, the buttons, I wired the controls, essentially did everything, the T-modding. Go and watch that video first, I think it's quite entertaining and I recommend it. Once you've done that, welcome to this video, and this is going to be adding strip lighting, or strip lights, to my Bartop Arcade marquee. This is apparently translucent, which means that light will travel through it. It will let light travel through it, literally. And I think it will finish the whole thing off. I think it will add that finesse, that finishing touch I'm after. I love this. This is probably my most prized possession I own at the moment. Absolutely love it. Don't regret buying it at all. I'm absolutely over the moon that I have. The quality is second to none. But getting these strip lights in there will finish it off, I imagine. Now the strip lights, I got these from Amazon. I'll link it in the description tab underneath this video. I researched strip lights or lighting, and I came across a few, but this one seemed to be most ideal for the job. Essentially, it's flexible sort of paper lights, as it were. You would stick these to the cabinets, inside of the cabinet, and then you would go around and essentially I would make a couple of loops around the inside, so I'll have to get inside here, and then it should light it up. They're about $13.99, I believe, but it came with a dimmer switch, which is great. So if it's too bright, you can turn it down and turn it back up. And a power supply. Now the thing is, I'm probably going to use, of the 5 meters of strip lights, I'm going to use a few feet. But the good thing is, if something went wrong with a couple of bulbs or the strip, I could essentially splice it, and then I could use more of these. So if I needed to replace these lights, there should be plenty left to replace them with. So that's fine. The only other issue or concern I have is how to get into this marquee. Now, if you watch my original video, you will see that I've had to power drill or power screwdriver these self-tapper screws through this flimsy plastic. These are called the marquee retainers, these plastic bits. I had to screw them in. I could unscrew them, but I'm not convinced that the integrity of these retainers and the cabinets will hold if I unscrew them and screw them back in again. I think possibly something could go wrong there. Fortunately, once again, if you watch my original video, you will know that I've got a couple of computer speakers, very small computer speakers, just behind this marquee, which I stuck down with double-sided sticky pads. And they've stayed in place, it's worked great, but there's no reason I could turn this cabinet around. I'll move it to a more appropriate place to work in, but there's a hinge door behind here, at the back. So I can open up that door, remove the 2 speakers, and then I can put the strip lighting around the top of the marquee here, or the sides of the marquee, a couple of rows probably, and then light it up. That's the idea. I'm going to see how that works in practice. It should be fine. Doing it that way, it's a bit dusty there actually, doing it that way, at least I can see how bright these lights are, how good the effect is, because I'm not going to take this off, so I can actually just come to the front of it. Once the lights are in, do a sort of test run to see how it all fits and how effective it all is. So that's also a bonus of doing it that way, and it's a great bonus feature to this arcade Bartop. I'm going to put a link to the arcade Game Room Solutions. Game Room Solutions, where I got this from. God, it's a brilliant Bartop. This is probably the Bartop, do-it-yourself Bartop kit I would recommend out of all I've seen. But anyway, regardless, because of that great feature, the back door, I can open it up, take off those speakers. Thankfully, I didn't put amps. I didn't screw down sort of speaker amps in here. I might do that eventually, but thankfully I haven't done that. So I can simply take out those small speakers and put this strip lighting in. So wish me luck, I'll move on to the next step. Okay guys, so update. I've moved it onto my trusty bed, which is quite appropriate, as a lot of the work I did for the arcade cabinet was done on the bed. It's just a good wide space to work in. I put the lights on. I don't know how much you can see that, but you can see I put various strips on. The inside, I've removed the speakers. These are the speakers. These are the little arcade speakers I told you about. They were stuck down by sticky pads. I'll put some more pads on these, some new pads. They were stuck on these grills here, and it was fine. But you can see I put the lights in front of it, and that's because you don't want the shadows of the speakers showing through the marquee. I've not done a bad job, I don't think. I was going to say, I've not done a professional job, but I don't think that's too bad. I've done a few strips. There's not a great deal of this left now, actually. I thought there'd be a lot more of this left, but there's not. There's probably a couple of strips I can use in case something goes wrong with these bulbs. But let's go and investigate, shall we? Let's go and see what it looks like. There you go. I don't know how good that comes through. It looks great seeing it for real, or actually seeing it the actual way it is. I hope that comes through on the video, but that really sets it off now. I don't know if I need that dimmer. Let's go around the back here. I don't know if I need this dimmer thing connected, because that brightness, which you can see is very bright, shines through. It comes through. I don't need to dim that. That setting seems to be okay. I'll play with that. The dimmer switch adds a bit of weight to it, and there's a possibility of the whole thing coming unravelled because of it. Unless I find a way of securing it, I could stick it down, I guess. I don't think I need that dimmer switch. It just adds more weight and more bulk in the back of the cabinet. But there you go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move it back to its place. And yeah, it's looking great so far. Okay, so it's in its place, back in its position. I've closed the curtains on both sides of the house. It's not dark yet, but playing this when it's dark and there's little light, that's going to be fantastic. Look at it. Now, I could have these buttons lit up, but I just don't like the idea of that. I'm old school arcade. I don't remember these buttons being lit up. To be honest, there's enough light spread through that. Let's coin up. And you can hear and see the fantastic quality of this arcade unit, this Bartop arcade unit. I can't recommend the guys at Bartop Games Room Arcade enough. I mean, even the quality of that translucent marquee. Look how the light comes through that. And there's different marquees you can get, and you can buy it all in the kit like I did for a very reasonable price. But yeah, guys, I reckon once it's dark especially, that's an arcade unit. I took the dimmer switch off. The speakers, by the way, just went back on. The pads were okay to use still, so I just stuck them back down. As you can see, you can't see them at all. That is brilliant. Let me know what you think in the comments. And guys, if you would like to know more about setting up RetroPie for an arcade Bartop arcade unit, if I get a few people asking me to do a video, I'll do a video from scratch. So that'll be setting up the Bartop arcade unit. Let's get out of that. Adding things like custom themes. Oh, well, that's actually a theme that I got from the internet. But adding themes. This is like a comic theme because my splash screen, when it starts up, is like a comic, like a sort of Avengers DC comic kind of startup sequence I also got from the internet. But if you want to know that, and things like even, let's go to, where's Donkey Kong? Bezels. So this start up. There you go. You can see these at the side here. These are bezels. Because games like Donkey Kong are not ideal to play stretched across the whole screen, you can put bezels at the side. You can do it with Nintendo games as well. I don't play many Nintendo games on this. It's just for arcade games generally. But this really finishes off the sort of experience. It really makes it a very sort of unique or very precise arcade experience. I mean, that to me is just like Donkey Kong in the arcade. The cabinet's not. Completely different cabinet, completely different setup, but it plays and feels the same. So things like that. If you want to know how to set it up from scratch, I can do it all the way from scratch, but I would have to get a few people requesting that or wanting that, but let me know. Thanks. Comment, subscribe if you like, and give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. I'll see you next time.